Hello and welcome back to HardReset.Info. In this video, I'll be guiding you through the process of setting up your TCL phone without a Google account. Let's begin. And we can begin with choosing a language and enabling vision settings if you want to. I'm not going to bother with any of these settings because English is the language I currently speak in and I do not have any vision problems. So let's simply go with Start. We do need to agree to terms and privacy, but we do not have to join the user experience improvement program, since this basically means that you are giving them allowance to gather your data. So that's not good. I will go with a skip. And now we can click simply got it. We have the ability to connect to mobile network. I'm going to pass this since I do not have a SIM card on me right now. And now we can connect to Wi-Fi, and you will notice that we cannot really skip this part. We do need to connect to Wi-Fi, unfortunately. So I will go with this network, but of course you want to choose your own network, and then you want to input its password. And after you have inputted your password, you simply want to hit connect. And as you can see, we are now connected to Wi-Fi. And now we are checking for a configuration updates and basically other updates, and the process may take a few minutes. And after a minute or two, we have the ability to copy apps and data. Now, this is an incredibly important feature, and it's very useful if you have some sort of older device that you want to migrate data from. This is probably the best part for you to do it. Otherwise, you will have to install some sort of third-party application to copy the data. I do not have other device on me right now, so I will go with that copy, but once again, if you have some sort of device, I would strongly advise you to go with the next. But now we are simply checking our information. And in any moment now, if I remember correctly, we should see Google login page. As you can see, there it is. And of course, we could potentially go with inputting email or phone, but hey, that's not what this tutorial is about, right? So let's simply hit skip. Now, of course, our Google will cry and say that we cannot do that. We won't be able to download apps or back up our device or activate device protection features. But of course, we do not care. We simply hit skip. And now we have completely skipped entirety of Google process. Now we can continue with the setup. For example, we have the ability to choose date and time. I will simply leave all of these settings on, since they gather date and time information accurately. Let's hit next. We can set up our fingerprint, but I will skip this. So is this. I'm skipping this because we do have tons of tutorial exactly for you on how you can add fingerprints or face data. So now we can choose a pin, or alternatively you can click screen lock options and you can choose something else. For example, I'm going to go with pattern just because I like the pattern. I will now input a simple L shape and I will redraw that simple L shape. Now, as you can see, we do have Google services, which is pretty funny because we just removed Google. We do not have Google account. So I will, for example, disable send usage and diagnostic data because we do not like Google. Why would we send them data, our data? And the same things could be technically said about allow scanning. Now, this would allow you to scan apps and services even when you have disabled those features like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. But this basically means that, unfortunately, you can't really do that. I mean, you can, but you will waste your battery. So if you care about battery, you could disable this feature. About location usage, normally I would strongly advise you to keep that on, because then, in case something unfortunate happens, you have the ability to just use Google's Find My Device to find your device. But since you are skipping Google process entirely, I guess you don't need it anyway. Though still, I would just advise you to keep that on, but of course, you do you. Now we can choose our search browser and search engine. So I'm guessing we don't really like Google Chrome, so instead I will go with something cool like Firefox. And of course we are not going with Google as search engine, instead we'll go with Brave, because we are brave and we do not like Google. Now we have review additional apps from Google, who guessed, and apps will be downloaded over Wi-Fi, and what's funny is that we can't really do anything about it. We can't like uncheck it to not install it, we have to just agree, which is a shame, but I guess that's the world we live in. Let's go with OK. Oh, but don't worry about that, we have the ability to just uninstall this application later. And lastly, we can choose the home and the drawer screen or home screen only. I prefer home and drawer screen, otherwise things will just get very cluttered in your home screen. Every single thing that you will download will end up in that home screen, and I'm just not a big fan of it, so I will enable the drawer screen. And now we can choose button navigation or gesture navigation. I will leave with gestures. If you have no idea how to use them, we also have a little tutorial on how to use gestures. So as you can see, they are pretty easy to use, and I do find them convenient. I think they're pretty cool. But of course, if you want to, you can switch to button navigation, and you can even choose the layout of the buttons. But since I like gestures, I will go with gestures. Now we can hit next, and as you can see, setup is complete, and our phone is ready to use. So the telephone system defaults data encryption to protect personal information, and the phone supports factory reset to erase personal data, ensuring privacy protection. That's pretty cool. Let's go with finish, and we are good to go. But as unfortunately our phone will now restart to apply the best configuration for us. Not exactly sure what happens like behind the scenes, but let's just hit restart now because it will restart anyway. And now we can simply wait for the phone to restart. And as you can see, our phone is now freshly after the restart, after the setting up the phone. We do have some bloatware, but as you can see, we are not logged into any Google account. Whenever we try to go somewhere, we'll have a very warning that we need to log in. Maybe Chrome browser will work, not entirely sure. Nope, okay, we can use it without the account, but most Google-based applications are no longer works, so that's pretty cool. Though to me, my personal least favorite thing that's no longer works is the YouTube application. But yeah, that's all for this video. If you found it useful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.